That is a 7-year-old child in a race car. He's going about 35, 40 miles an hour, and he's about to plow into that wall. We'll figure out what happens to him in just a few minutes, but first, let's rewind a little bit and figure out what we're actually doing here. Today's video is all about speed and going as fast as we can. I'm here in my race car trailer that we're going to load up and take to a real racetrack. My son races there, so we're going to see what that's like. And along the way, we are going to build the fastest D&D character possible using only official rules. I'm going to go ahead and load this trailer up with all of our cars and equipment, and we're going to get going. Before we get going, let's start off with the fastest races in Dungeons & Dragons. You're going to want to pick a fast one if you want to make the fastest character possible. D&D Beyond lists 60 official races on their website. Only a handful of those, though, have above a 30-foot movement speed, which, by the way, is about 3.4 miles an hour. But the king of them all, and the one that we're going to use for this video, is the Tabaxi. But wait, I hear you say, the Tabaxi only has a 30-foot movement speed, just like all of the other ones. Aha! They also have the feline agility feature, which lets them double their movement speed for a single round. That takes their walking speed of 30 feet and doubles it to 60 feet. If they happen to dash, that's 120 feet of movement in 6 seconds, which, by the way, that's about 12.6 miles an hour. So clearly, the Tabaxi is the real mover and shaker of all of the races in D&D, and that's the one that we're going to use for the rest of this video. Now, with that said, I'll see you on the road while we continue the rest of this video. All right, let's get going. Ah! Gentle, gentle, gentle. All right, off we go. I find myself stuck in traffic, so let's talk about what classes our Tabaxi character is going to need to be the fastest thing possible. First off, we're going to need 3 levels of Barbarian in the Path of the Totem. Next, we're going to dip 2 levels into Wizard and take the Blade Singer path. Next, we're going to take 2 levels of Fighter, which is going to get us the Action Surge ability. And next, we're going to take 2 levels of Monk in order to get their unarmored movement feature. Putting this all together, we have our Tabaxi with a base speed of 30 feet. 2 levels of Monk is going to bump that up to 40 feet. And then we're going to Rage to bump that up to 55 feet. And activate our Blade Song ability to bump that up to 65 feet. We can then use our Feline Agility feature to double that to 130 feet of movement speed. On our turn, we can take the Dash action in order to move a full 260 feet of movement. Then we can use our Fighter's Action Surge ability to dash again for a grand total of 520 feet of movement. But that's not all. We can use the Monk's Steps of the Wind feature to dash one more time for a grand total of 780 feet of movement in a single round. And that's at level 9. That's just shy of 89 miles an hour, I think. All right, traffic's picking up, so I'm going to focus on the road ahead, and I'm going to see you guys at the track. All right, 3 hours later, and we are finally here. I'm gonna unhook my trailer and get that all set up, and then we're gonna continue talking about how we can make a super fast character in Dungeons & Dragons. I'll be right back with you. So we're here for a 2-day race event. There's 2 races, one each day. The sport is quarter midgets. This is a kids racing sport for ages 5 to 16. So imagine strapping a 5-year-old in a motor vehicle that goes 25 to 35, 40 miles an hour. It gets up to some shenanigans, but it's a lot of fun. And speaking of shenanigans, let's go and figure out what happened to that kid who was about to plow into the wall. He's okay, by the way. I went and helped them get their car all out of their tangle and all that, and the kid's just fine. These kids wear so much safety gear. This is actually safer than contact football, so don't worry about him. He's fine. All right, that went really well. So we started third, we ended in second. I'm very happy with that. We raced very clean, very competitively, and it went great. And although we didn't get first place, that's okay. Because you know what? The real first place winner of this video is our sponsor, Gillen's Guide to Speed. So for a while now, I've been wondering how to merge my two passions, racing and D&D. And it was only a few weeks ago that the answer came to me when I got an email from Only Crits, the publisher of Gillen's Guide to Speed. Picture this, high octane meets high fantasy. Does it get any better than that? I don't think it does. And Gillen's Guide to Speed is launching on Kickstarter today. This book is all about giving your game the turbo boost that it deserves. Get ready for high-stakes racing around city circuits or high-flying obstacle courses and more. And that's not all, because hold on to your hats, you get to construct your very own racing vehicles. That's right, arcane punk vehicles that are fully upgradable, fully customizable, that you can use to tear up the lower circuits while your characters rise to the top. And listen up, because this book isn't just about racing. There's tons of new content for you to roll into your game. 30 new arcane punk vehicles? Check. Over 40 original spells, monsters, and magic items? You got it. 4 character classes, 12 subclasses, 6 races, and more surprises than you can shake a spark plug at? It's all here. Trust me, you won't find a dull moment between these pages. It is the ultimate adrenaline-infused experience for D&D fans and speed freaks alike. And here's something neat. For those of you who back Gillen's Guide to Speed within the first 48 hours, you're gonna get a free surprise. Only Crits is gonna send you your very own Flux Gear Shaft dice set, packaged in a nice Gillen's logo leatherette dice bag. All you gotta do is pay shipping. So strap in, shift gears, and back Gillen's Guide to Speed today. You will not regret it. And you're not gonna regret it because this is brought to you by Only Crits. These guys have a fantastic reputation. They've been making products for Bob Worldbuilder, Sinclair's Library, and more. They know their stuff, so you're gonna get what you pay for. So don't get caught napping on this one, folks. This Kickstarter is burning rubber and you're not gonna wanna miss out on it. Check out Gillen's Guide to Speed using the link down below in the description. All right, so we're all closed up. I'm gonna go ahead and take the family across the street to a big racetrack to watch a big race. So come on over, let's go watch. Well, it brings our first day at the track to a close. Our times are all right. Made a few changes and improved those. We'll see how we do tomorrow. And I'm going to give you some more tips on making a faster character in the morning. But right now, it's midnight. I'll see you in the morning. Now, while I'm out walking these dogs here, let's talk about making your Tabaxi character even faster. And to do that, we're going to need magic. Now, we've got 2 levels of wizard, okay? So that gets us access to the Long Strider spell. The Long Strider spell is going to give us an extra 10 feet of movement, and that's going to help a lot. But where it's really at is the Haste spell. This is a 3rd level spell, so we're going to need to dip 3 more levels into wizard. You can't do that. I was wrong, and I apologize. You cannot cast haste while you're raging because, while you're raging, you can't cast anything that requires concentration. So in order to gain the benefits of haste, we're going to have to rely on a potion of speed, which we'll talk about in one of the following segments. Now, once we get that, we can cast Long Strider first because it doesn't require concentration, and then we're going to need to cast Haste. Now, Haste is going to double our movement speed, okay? And it's going to give us an extra action that we can use to dash.
Riley, hi. Can you say hi? Can you say hi to YouTube? All right. Well, he's done going potty, so I'm going to hop in the car, go get some gas for our cars, and then we'll continue this conversation there.
So we've got our Tabaxi Monk Fighter Barbarian Wizard combo here. The Tabaxis have a base movement speed of 30 feet, and with our 2 levels of Monk, we're going to bump that up to 40. While Raging, we're going to bump that up to 55. While Blade Singing, we're going to bump that up to 65, okay? Now, with Long Strider, we bump that up to 75, okay? We add in Feline Agility, that's going to bump us up to 150 feet of movement speed in a round. And then with Haste, we are going to double that to 300 feet of movement speed. Now we're going to use our action to dash, so that's going to move us 600 feet. We're going to use our Steps of the Wind feature to dash again for a total of 1,200 feet. Now we're going to use Action Surge to dash a 3rd time for a total of 1,800 feet. And once again, with our extra action from Haste, we're going to dash a 4th time? I'm not keeping track. But our total movement speed is going to be 2,400 feet in our round. That's insane.
Nothing like paying $5.41 at the pump here. Just in case you're wondering, we have to use mid-grade fuel. It's the rules, but thankfully these cars don't require a whole lot of fuel.
All right, that 2,400 feet of movement per round, that's about 272 miles an hour. That is insanely fast for a real vehicle, let alone a person, cat thing. But we can do better. We can make him even faster. So we're gonna go ahead and cover that a little bit later. I gotta get back to the track now. All right, we're all fueled up and we're ready to go. It's still fairly early in the morning. Track is cold, so we'll try to make some adjustments and see how we do. So I'll be back with you guys in just a second. See you in a bit.
Okay, so think about that for a bit. Give me fist pump, please. That's what you should be thinking about right now, okay?
All right, so that race is in the bag. Didn't go so well for us. Granted, I mean, we started 8th and we finished 6th, so that's decent, but I think we need more. So we are going to do a gear change, and a gear change could be just this magic thing that really sets things off. And speaking of magic things, in order to make our Tabaxi character even faster, we're going to need some magic items. But first, let's go ahead and get the gear I need.
All right, we've got... That sticks a little bit. Here we go. This is exactly what I need, 27. That off. Go, there's that. Back this off a little bit. Yep. You wouldn't happen to have a 33 engine gear, would you?
I think I do.
May I borrow it? It just comes off right like that. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so we're gonna slide this off and that. I honestly can't do this one-handed, so you know what? I'll be with you in just a second. All right, engine gear's back on, so bam. Snap that in place. All right, there we go. Get the chain back on, and we're in business. All right, that's pretty solid, so let's rock and roll. Like I said, a gear change could be magic. And In order to make our character faster, we're going to need some magic items. There are 837 items listed on D&D Beyond. Only 50 of those are tagged with the movement tag, however, and even fewer are actually worth using in this instance. There are 3 in particular: the Wayfarer's Boots, the Potion of Speed, and the Boots of Speed. Now, the Wayfarer's Boots are from the latest book, Glory of Giants. You know, the one with all the artificial intelligence generated art inside of it. Yeah. Those ones give you an extra 10 feet of movement speed, which is, I mean, it's nice, but it's not going to do it in this case. Now, the Potion of Speed grants us the effects of a haste spell without concentration, but we've already got those wizard levels, we've already got the haste spell, so it's a bit redundant in this case.
You don't have the wizard levels because you didn't need to take them, and you don't have the haste spell because you can't cast it while raging, like I said earlier. So that Potion of Speed that I just mentioned is going to be very important. Go ahead and use that to gain the benefits of a haste spell without concentration.
What we really need are the Boots of Speed. Now, with these, a character can click their heels together like they're trying to get the hell out of Oz and double their movement speed. That is what we need in this case. So what happens to our tabaxi if we put on those Boots of Speed? Well, our 2,400 feet of movement speed suddenly gets doubled to 4,800 in that round. 4,800 feet of movement speed in 6 seconds is 545 miles an hour. That's blazing fast.
All right, so it's almost go time. We've got another shot at this. We'll see how we do. But first, let's make that tabaxi even faster. Here, we can take the mobile feat, and that's going to add another 10 feet of movement every round. For us, that's going to take our 4,800 feet of movement speed and bump it up to 5,440. That is 618 miles an hour in 6 seconds. Granted, the next round you got to stand still, but you're going to have plenty of time while everybody's trying to catch up with you.
Sounds good.
On the quest.
And there we are with speed, determination, and maybe a little bit of luck. We cinched first place. And damn, does it feel good. This is our first place win in an A-main this entire season. And I couldn't be happier. We were walking away from this with 3 trophies, and it was a good day. But you know what? It's time to wrap up. We're going to head home, and we'll be out there next weekend, going as fast as we can.